The hypocrisy of Miracle on this platform is annoying.
Why?
It's annoying. Brazenly annoying.
Come down. This country, when Edudzi and his party, including senior members of this government, were on the street, the communications officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, saying exactly what this lady has said today. In fact, what this lady has said today that she said, Kuna na do mami, eradie kuna na do mami.
And we sang it against Rollins.
So why is it now a crime? That Santi comedy guy, when he mocked the death of Omane Boama,
you were a hypocrite. That's please, when you arrested him. Why can't you? When you arrested him, what this is, you are moving in seconds.
When the Fanti comedy guy, Miracle, took him to Bawumia. Bawumia gave him a red carpet treatment. There's a young man in this country. He gets so annoying. Bongo Ideas. You know him?
I've not personally, but I've followed his.
Bongo Ideas had written something about the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo. He was kidnapped by national security operatives in this country under the watch of Nana Addo Dankwa and Dr. Mahmoud.
So you copy more the studios of Media General TV3 and Nebusuya Dennis Miracle Aboagye and Gordon Edudzi Edudzi Tamakloe on the CEO at the NPA na Ekoba say speech says free speech abaso as a busuya manokwe from Ako fancy me ba and they say peace council crowd aji woman there say obeka bi na blaster on Dennis Miracle Aboagye say NDC for a hypocrite na sebi na omo opposition na NDP before chechire omo nkrofo no omo ekasati a afede omo so ababan mu a omo so the same thing na omo condemn ye no na Gordon Edudzi Tamakloe say Miracle Aboagye ankasa na say the level of hypocrisy no like a bro adwene into so in a sense as a Miracle every say Bongo Ideas than them himachen national security for ekofa no yan ko put the yan kidnapping no Captain Smart actually be so many times say Bini nana hini Beni what TV SYZ or no so ekofa no like Kobna Bobi ansa omo kwache no Sami Jemfi like on my examples I said free speech doesn't mean say kan ensem hunu bia say oh president no say you nkunu na say ongu na abusuya the way Edudzi Tamakloe handle Dennis Miracle Aboagye wo studio so no na enya sem so Click TV Africa na mete ho e de musem na de bro me say MPP ni NDC on e funny yenkoti Dennis Miracle Aboagye na ordinary submission e de ba na watch the reason why it's necessary NDC for because so achechire MPP for na say be so nyimfa so omo nyina e Ghana for ye allow mancrofo enchire omadwen Click TV Africa business subscribe mame we are now like one na money subscribe money so mami Click TV abusuya na we kotie Dennis Miracle Aboagye submission in famra.
So Alfred,
now you are my lawyer.
The fact is that
I understand what you're talking about.
In this country, to put it bluntly, we are all hypocrites. That is how I'm putting it. We are all hypocrites. Edudzi is a hypocrite. Kofi Benzo is a hypocrite.
He have condemned you people and I've condemned them too.
I think I am the only person that is not a hypocrite. And I'll explain to you why. Don't interject me. I'll explain to you why. You see, me, I know I have a very big mouth. So everything I say, I make sure that I am very sure that tomorrow, either I will say the same thing or I'll keep quiet. Edudzi hasn't done that. This government, this president has gone after free speech. There is no other way of putting it. He has, in fact, it's a presidential policy. The man said that he is even going to use our IPs to identify us and find us where we are. You see, when you want to control my speech, it's not free. Free speech and hate speech are not the same. They are not close. They are two different things. So let's not attempt to draw some parallels or cousins between them. They are different.
And irresponsible speech is different from
if you want to control what I say, then there's no free speech. It means that before I speak freely, I must filter it and be sure it will please you. or you accept it. And there's a reason why I say that. There is a letter written to Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo by President Mahama, then opposition leader, and has been shared on Edudzi's WhatsApp, Facebook wall. That's why I'm saying he's a hypocrite. And he accepts it. He knows why I'm saying that. February 11, 2022. And when we finish, he has to change the settings on his Facebook. It makes it difficult for me to search. There's a way he has to do it so that it's easy. I'll show him. This is what, this is President Mahama. Dear President Akufo-Addo, I'll just jump them. I am appalled at the growing criminalization of speech and journalism in Ghana under your watch in this 21st century. Then he goes on to itemize some of the things, and I'll pick 2 issues that he itemizes. 1, he picked an issue of Captain Smart that had been picked up by the police for inciting an uprising by the Ghana army at Parliament and calling for a Rwanda kind of situation in Ghana. He cites it as one of the things that he's appalled that the Akufo-Addo had gone, and he calls Akufo-Addo out because the police had gone in to pick Captain Smart. Is here, the letter is here. Oh. So let's accept that. Let's accept that. No, it's here. It's on Edudzi's wall, February 11, 2022. Let's accept that the president today actually makes all of us understand from this that he is the one that is gone after these 17 people and not the police, per this analogy. And let's accept that. Number 2, he goes on to now reference Boama Bane and a journalist, another journalist, who had also been arrested. And hear me clearly what he had done. The police had arrested him and is on Edudzi's wall for alleging on his show that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo had met some 7 Superior Court judges ostensibly to plan with them so that should there be an election petition at the Supreme Court, they will skew it for Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Is there. The president then goes on to name and list several issues and cases of arrests of citizens that had made, speeches and all of that, like we are experiencing today. I have never, in my entire political career, ever stood anywhere to support the police going to arrest anybody. Not when Akufo-Addo was president, not when Kufuor was president, not now. Listen, when President Kufuor was president, when President Rawlings was president, when even I was MPP and I was Tescon, we used to walk from Legon to the castle with our bottles and our shorts down there, protesting and demonstrating against the president. Today that students don't demonstrate. Those times we joined the demonstration, and we were all on Legon campus together. We joined the demonstration when the vandals descend without even knowing what it's about. And by the time we realized we were at castle, protesting and demonstration, that was even time when President Kufuor was president. I am never on record. That's why I'm saying I'm not a hypocrite. In fact, I am on record on my Facebook wall for calling out the Ghana police for arresting people when the Akufo-Addo was president. It's there, it's on my wall. I have always been against that. So I can speak freely. But he can't. Because when I go to his wall, there are several posts he has shared when the Akufo-Addo was president, where he was expressing displeasure for the police arresting people for making certain commentaries against Akufo-Addo, including even people who may have said things against the First Lady, like we have experienced with some 17. Yes, and he was against it. The problem I have with Edudzi and all the other people in NDC today is that you might as well have kept quiet. Because all these things that are happening, which I admit, under the MPP, the police had done similar things, are the same thing happening now, which you spoke against. Now, you see, the question and the point I'm trying to find out today from Honorable Bombardier is that this whole hate speech and free speech and responsible speeches, is it only when it's against people in government? And after, please give me a little time, I beg you. Is it only against people in government? I'm saying that because I am always on TV and radio, and I don't know when I'll fall foul to some of these things. So I want to have my time. Why is it that my presidential candidate, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, is insulted by people in the NDC from morning till evening on TikTok? I have the names, I have the videos. Okay? That the police are there on TikTok. They are cyber security units. They are there on TikTok and Facebook. But I have never, for once, seen any of these NDC guys picked up or arrested for inciting violence against Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. We are in this country. When there's a gentleman in the US who came into this country, got national security protection, driven to the Supreme Court when there was warrants and things against him. Then he was let go. And this is somebody that has insulted every chief in this country, has insulted even the president, this president. Yeah. Every presidential candidate in this country. He has gone after every judge, gone after every pastor, gone after every chief, gone after the president. He has said it openly that he made the president of this republic and that he can bring him down. He walks freely. So don't come and talk to me about laws and hate speech and, we are hypocrites. It is only when we think it benefits us, and there's a certain reason why that is happening. We are beginning to have a certain herd immunity mindset when it comes to how we treat our citizens. Why are you treating me, Miracles? Not as a citizen of this country, but because I am MPP. I am a Methodist, I am MPP, I'm a Guan. Why are you putting me in a why are you putting me in a group? If I commit a crime, hold me solely responsible. And treat me according to what the law says you should treat me. Alfred, it's a very dangerous thing we are setting for ourselves. And when some of my party people say that when the tables turn, they will do the same, they are not playing.
Yes, it's wrong.
They are not playing. It will be escalated because people are writing it. People are noting it. And I started talking about this in 2025. When I said that, I admit, whenever there is a change in government, there were a lot of things, some of these things happen. Can we agree to put a stop to it?
Yes.
And say that enough is enough? Let's begin to halt some of these things. When I said that, some of my NDC friends agreed with me. Some too felt like, hey, we've come to power, we should continue. You think that you go and arrest somebody for speaking, and when the table turns, that person has forgotten about you, they will come after you in multiple fold, and we'll be having the same conversation. I am saying what I am saying today because when the table turns, and somebody in my party is doing it to you, I can still speak because I'm speaking against it now, and I spoke against it then. Why are we doing this to ourselves, Alfred?
Okay.
That we say we have a law that says that nobody is above the law, including the judge. Well, we know in this country when judges took goods and money as bribes and skilled judgment. Have you gone to the magistrate court and the small courts in the district before? I was an MC. There were occasions that I went to those courts. You weep when you see how citizens are being treated in those places where there are small lawyers, and some of them don't even have representation. So the reality is that indeed there can be judges that can be political. They are not above the law. If you are a judge and I have a case before you, and I think that you are singling me out and you are trying to use your position to come after me, there is a law that allows me to call you out and even petition and get you removed. So if for whatever reason you think that somebody has said that a certain judge is a political judge, it is not the police that comes to arrest the person and throws the person to jail. I am saying this not because I support what the person has said. Hear me well. I am saying that whether you are the president, you are the chief justice, you are whatever it is, when somebody comes after your person or your integrity, the laws are there. It doesn't include police kidnapping me and putting me in jail. It says that I should take you on and let you prove how I became political. And if you fail to do that, the laws will punish you, which if it includes jailing, you are jailed. But the situation where we find ourselves today, that if the thing goes against people in government, then we weaponize it and call it hate speech and peddling falsehood. That is the danger that Miracles, I am worried about. And I think Edudzi should also worry about.
Miracle Aboagye eka we yan osan abeka se sa ensem na akoso ni nyina ono ontimi fana no mpo enka da say yes so rejundoma ni mahama engu like ye kaseti ohwe ensem abro nye kan ye ababa wa yi sesa yi baumia ba ya na ensem mo chine ensem a wo kan ye like ensem wa keka na montena ono de no kure ni ontimi fana no mpo enka.
Now Alfred,
you wrong.
Let's look at all the 17 issues. None of them are issues that Miracles will say with my mouth, or would even go into a meeting and tell my party person to say it. But the question is, since when did it become a crime? The things they've said. We're in this country, when Edudzi and his party, including senior members of this government, were on the street, the communications officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, saying exactly what this lady has said today. In fact, what this lady has said today that she said, Kuna na do mami, eradie kuna na do mami.
And we sang it against Rollins.
So why is it not a crime?
Why?
There is a gentleman who sits, what's his name? Is it Hunto? There's a gentleman who sits on Wazo TV also. He said it in plain language that he is surprised that another is not dead. And that God should kill him in a plane crash. So today, if you are showing me...
So how should all these be dealt with?
No, so I'm saying that if you are showing me... So if you are showing me these cases, and today you are in government, your conversation shouldn't be that, oh, they've done something, the law should... You are hypocrites.
Miracle Aboagye eka and same way we pay ho and a Godwin the same Tamakloe egoji ebekase. You see, my eren fee fancy comedy eko kasa edit eko kasa the same manebo amanim enya nkwanhia yi na nka yose ka president John Domani Mahama na nka eto no like omaka ensem bebere asasam esi yepe na wo ankasa Dennis Miracle Aboagye so ne sade ko hia Mahmoud Baumia enti ye kasa obi a hypocrite de nka ye wo Dennis Miracle Aboagye ebra ya pa Gordon Edudzi take control na busuya na studio ho aye fireworks in kwa equity on also submission and response to Dennis Miracle Aboagye concerning the free speech akoya sam Ghana ha.
Today, my brother Miracle says all of us are hypocrites, except him. I just want us to do a reference. And we go to gbconline.com. Miracles Aboagye slams call for the release of Democracy Hub protesters. Thank you for your holier than thou attitude this morning. Which form of speech is more than the right to demonstrate? At the core of the right to demonstrate is free speech. The two run together. When young people of this country went on demonstration, and the reason for the demonstration is that they found that there were things happening in this country that they were not happy with. Under the name Democracy Hub, Miracle and his people banded them up, took them to Isawan prison, and when calls were made by well-meaning Ghanaians that this individual should be released, Miracle went on Asempa and likened the demonstrators to rapists. That is your record. And you have the temerity to sit on this platform and call people hypocrites. Do you know what has gone on in this country? My point is this simple. See, when we had the opportunity, and I will go back to the Tommy Thompson, the Supreme Court had the occasion at that time, the criminal libel law. The Supreme Court said, and in fact, it is reported in the Ghana Law Report, Republic versus Tommy Thompson Books Limited. That's the Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report, 1996-1997. That's the number 2. The court said those provisions were constitutional provisions, and that nowhere on earth is free press unlimited. This morning we are being told that the freer society is the more developed is it. Go to China. There's sound reason why China is where it is. There's sound reason why China is where it is. 2, in the United States of America, where the likes of Kofi Bento usually want us to emulate, there are laws on speech. And that is why today in the United States, the Anti-Defamation League, if you dare deny Holocausts, that is a basis for you to be prosecuted. Is Kofi Bento not aware of this? Is he not aware? In the United Kingdom. But you see, do you know where the hypocrisy becomes even more? Do you know where the hypocrisy becomes even more glaring? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as Attorney General, brought the repeal of the criminal libel law. By 2008, they introduced the electronic communication law and through the back door introduced section 76(1) of 775. It's a 2008 legislation. Kofi Bento has never denied his MPP membership. He has never.
But has he stated that he's an MPP?
No, I'm coming.
Has
no,
he ever
I'm saying
stated that he's MPP?
Oh, no. I
So
mean,
you that,
association with MPP is not a criminal organization, so defamation won't lie.
Yeah.
Yes. But the point I am making is this. When the MPP introduced the repeal of the criminal libel law, by the time they left office in 2008, they then introduced the Electronic Communication
Which we
Act.
have condemned. I have just condemned it right now. So add that.
Hold on.
You should go
They
to court to have
introduced
it.
the Electronic Communication Act 2008, particularly Section 76 that you referenced much earlier. That same provision is not different
Yes.
from the criminal libel law. The same people.
It's unconstitutional.
Today you sit here and talk about unconstitutionality. We've had the benefit of 8 years of MPP under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The constitutionality of that 2008 legislation never came up. You dare not say that today. The hypocrisy of Miracle on this platform is annoying.
Why?
It's annoying.
You are the
Brazenly
hypocrite. You are the
annoying.
hypocrite.
Calm down.
You are the hypocrite here. Why you arrested the lady
See,
now? You are moving in
hold
circles.
on.
I'm trying to resist it.
Yes.
There's a guy called Fancy Comedy.
Talk about the lady.
I thought it
Talk
was
about the
Is it
lady.
Fancy Comedy? I usually okay.
Talk about the lady.
Look at the manner in which Dr. Mani Boama and co died. The pain of their death. I cannot for a minute bring myself to the point of doing anything about that death. When those young people did that, Miracle took them to Baumia. That Fancy Comedy guy, when he mocked the death of Omane Boama,
You were a hypocrite. That is
oh,
hypocrite.
please,
After when you arrested
why
him,
can't you?
when
why
you arrested him, you mentioned
Why
my
you
name.
did it?
Because you mentioned my name.
So calm down.
When
But
you arrested him,
Yeah.
See, today,
does that amount to arrest? Is it criminal? Is it criminal?
When you were talking,
Are we doing that? Are we having a funeral here?
Okay.
Is it
you
criminal?
mentioned my name like 10 times.
Is it criminal?
I was
Are we having a
making my
funeral
notes.
here?
You are
Is it
gypsy.
criminal?
Calm down.
You arrest the guys for simply mocking. And you are telling me that you are telling me
Simply doing what?
simply mocking. Mocking.
You have
No,
a
let
Okay,
Tamakloe
okay.
make your
to
point.
say the
Let-
mocking
let
of the
Yes.
death
Make
of
your
Omane
point.
is right.
You cannot play emotions with me for
It's
mocking.
what you are
That
saying.
is not a crime. You can't play emotions with me.
When you
That is not a crime.
when you were making your
When
point,
you
you
start
called
making
and
my-
mentioned
why
my
can't
name
you
a
talk
number
on
of times.
TV and said that the Kufadi should have died in the crash.
He didn't come in.
You didn't
So,
condemn him.
You have made
Hypocrite.
your
That
point
is what
already.
you are.
Edudzi Tamakloe,
I knew I'll
conclude
get
on
you.
your point. Yes.
I knew. I was very clear about
Hypocrite.
myself.
That is what you are. Then,
I knew I'll
then
get
I am,
you.
you welcome
Please,
me. I'm
please,
right
please.
here with you. I am right here with you. What is the crime
see?
in the crime? What is the crime?
You see,
What this is you are moving in circles. What is the crime? What is your arrest?
when the Fancy Comedy guy, Miracle, took him to Baumia, Baumia gave him a
He
red
didn't
carpet
because he didn't
treatment
deserve to
at
be
home.
arrested. He didn't deserve to be
The
arrested.
people who
He didn't deserve
mocked
to be arrested.
the painful death of Omani and co.
Emotions. It's not law.
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia gave them a red carpet
Don't
treatment
arrest
at
them.
home.
Don't arrest citizens.
And you today you
Speaking
sit
up.
on this
You have said
platform
nothing
to say
the
this.
substantive matter.
You
Nothing.
see, there's a young man in this country. He gets so annoying. Bongo Ideas. You know him.
I've not personally, but I've followed his.
Bongo Ideas had written something about the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo. He was kidnapped by national security operatives in this country under the watch of Nana Addo Dankwa
You
Akufo-Addo
condemned it.
and Dr. Mahmoud
Did you
Baumia.
keep quiet? So why are you not condemning this? Why are you justifying
Today, as we speak,
You understand what I'm saying? Why
See,
you condemned it? Why are you justifying
when
this?
the young man called Ohiniba Benny sat on TV and said Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had mercy Supreme Court judges, it was the Attorney General who brought contempt proceedings against him under the watch of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Condemned it.
Eventually, Ohiniba Benny was convicted by the court 14 days
Yes.
in Nsawan
And you
prison.
condemned it. Why are you doing the same thing?
It didn't end there. There's a journalist called Bobie Ansah. Bobie, on one of his shows, said the former second lady, Samira Baumia, is developing a property at Cantonment or Labone, among others. The chairman of the police council, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, got him arrested by the police.
How do you make such an allegation against Dr. Baumia?
Allegation.
Why in the proceeding did you say that Baumia was this is the vice president. What are you even doing to yourself?
You see,
so today all the arrests, all the 17 arrests, all the 17 arrests are John Mahama.
But you see, you are jittery.
No, but he's the one saying it. All the 17 arrests are John Mahama. So let's establish it. It's all Mahama.
You see, why he spoke against the wife of the chairman of police council. What happened to him? I was lawyer for Bobie. When I went to the counterback, he was in his boxer shorts. It was the next day that I went to court and got bail for him.
And you are doing the same thing.
You see, the reason why I've had to chronicle all those instances is that, you see, I've read a statement attributed to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, where he goes ahead to say that persons associated with the MPP are being harassed and try to, as it were, claim a certain sanctimonious, image. I want to put on record on this platform that as the chair of the police council, many arrests were effected by the police. Maybe he, as the chair, is not aware.
Okay.
But those arrests were effected. What we should never lose sight of is that even in the most advanced democracies, speech has always been circumscribed.
As Abusia, the course with the studios of TV3, Dennis Miracle Aboagye and Gordon Edudzi Tamakloe, CEO of the NPA, concerning arrest a course a free speech and Nakola fan for na wodi pani atem na wakasete pani any ade no and we are the way and yakofa we no the air course akoye say MPP ne ndc there we the beye we into what actually no and yes we a little bit careful on how our beye on just to avoid sa macho click TV Africa Busia subscribe mame we are now like it we are now comment and click TV Abusia ne ho ye besan ya share.